Uh, yeah. Turn it all up. Powered up. Powered up.
This was seen as a projected late first-round pick by most sources. But recently, with multiple 2024 mock drafts released, he's not even projected to be drafted in the top 60 at all. We all know LeBron's vocal wish to play with Bronny before he retires, but this seems less and less likely by the day. In July 2023, Bronny James would suffer an unfortunate incident of cardiac arrest, and thankfully, with on-site medical treatment.
Yeah, I heard about that. I'm not like that's a thing about like being an NBA. What you do, like you're a famous basketball player, did your thing, top players in the league, like people like Melo, LeBron, all them type of people, and it's like, and like Shaq too, as well, like, and all their children, it's like they're just stuck in their father's shadow, and they just don't seem to like stand out enough or like have the type of talent and skill that their parents once had. Like, even though like they're really gifted to be the son of those basketball players, but yet it doesn't like transfer over to them, and they like some of them do end up going to the league, but they don't end up doing as good or like getting looked at, as their fathers once did. So it's kind of like sad in a way, you know what I'm saying? And that's the same thing with Bronny here. I'm glad that he was able to get through that cardiac arrest.
His life would be saved. And despite the severity of the incident, this didn't really change his perception to the public as a future first-round pick. That being said, currently being 2 months into his college campaign for USC, Bronny is averaging under 6 points, 3 rebounds, and 2.6 assists per game on under 37% from the field as a freshman. So this begs the question, is Bronny James even good? And will he even be drafted in the upcoming 2024 NBA draft? And clearly not performing at the level expected, how bad is Bronny actually? Welcome to Sportsphere, let's get into it. Son of LeBron James, Bronny James was born on October 6, 2004 in Cleveland, Ohio, to LeBron and Savannah James, while LBJ was 20 years old, playing for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Born as LeBron James Jr., a big spotlight was naturally put on Bronny from a young age, and LeBron even admitted he had regrets, naming his son after him.
I still regret giving my 14-year-old my name because of that.
But anyways, in his early life, Bronny would play multiple sports, primarily basketball and soccer, as LeBron wouldn't allow Bronny to play football or ice hockey due to its increased risk of injury. Soon, basketball became Bronny's bread and butter, and he would be scouted from when he was as early as 10 years old, which made LeBron James quite upset, claiming it should be a violation. With reports from ESPN that Bronny James received offers from Duke and Kentucky before he was even a teenager.
Bro, what? Now imagine just being able to get those offers and just like people scouting you at like young of an age like that. That's crazy, bro. Like, can you imagine? And I'm pretty sure like, just because of who his father is. So, with that being said, that's why they start looking at it like that. But I get where LeBron is coming from. Like putting your son in the spotlight. I'm guessing like not really letting him get the chance to like really develop and stuff first, because really not because of his skills, it's more so because of he's LeBron's son. So that's why they're doing it to him. So I think that's where it comes from. I might be wrong, but
Regardless, when LeBron was playing for the Heat, Bronny was playing for the Miami City Ballers, then Old Trail School when LeBron moved back to Cleveland. And in 2018, when LeBron moved to the Lakers, Bronny would play out his final year of middle school at Crossroads School, a private school in Santa Monica, California, where he continued to develop in his later teen years. As he progressed through high school, Bronny's basketball journey became increasingly publicized, with fans and media closely following his games and development, especially after LeBron publicly shared his wishes to play with his son before he retired. Despite the pressure and scrutiny that comes with being LeBron James's son, Bronny remained focused on his craft, striving to carve out his own path in the basketball world, despite a huge target on his back. After 1 year with Crossroads, in 2000,
Yeah, I can only imagine the pressure, of like having to live up to everybody's expectations of being the next greatest thing after your father. Because like they expect you to be as great as him or even greater. So it's like, I don't know what I would do being in his situation, you know what I'm saying? But yeah.
19, Bronny would again transfer schools, this time to Sierra Canyon, one of the most well-known private basketball high schools in the country.
Oh, yeah, facts. I remember this era, bro. He was snapping, boy. And then, oh yeah, that's his brother right there, Bryce.
With his younger brother Bryce and Dwayne Wade's son Zaire. At Sierra Canyon, led by coach Andre Chevalier, Bronny James began to hoop out on one of the biggest basketball high school stages. The school's known for its elite basketball program, and during Bronny's time, there was no exception. He played alongside and against many top prospects, and generally held his own. During Bronny's freshman year, Sierra Canyon was led by seniors Brandon Boston Jr. and Zaire Williams, who were top recruits, which naturally saw freshman Bronny receive limited minutes, but still contributed off the bench. Regardless, for the season, Bronny averaged 4.1 points in 15 minutes per game, playing in all 34 games that season, as Sierra Canyon finished with a 30-4 record. After his freshman year of high school, Bronny was listed as a 4-star recruit and projected to be a late first-round pick by 24/7 Sports and ESPN. Despite a decent
Okay. Yeah, it's pretty good. But yeah, not even be like a 5-star recruit, but like that's how you know already. Not saying like that's the only way you could make it to the NBA. Like, you know what I'm saying?
freshman year, Bronny
I need to stop saying that. I love it, you know what I'm saying? You know. I need to stop doing that.
His subsequent sophomore year was one filled with interruption, due to both COVID and a meniscus injury for Bronny, which saw him not play a single official game for the Sierra Canyon Trailblazers for the season. Bronny's following junior season saw a bigger individual contribution, where he played a more significant guard role, alongside senior teammates Amari Bailey and Kajani Wright. And by the end of the season, Bronny's good all-round game and active defense saw him average almost 9 points, over 3 rebounds and 3 assists, and 1.8 steals in 29 appearances.
Those are good. Yeah, this was some pretty decent stats, you know. I still never really gotten like the point number system, like 1.8 steals. Like what does that even mean? Like what you grabbed like 80% of the ball, like what does that mean, brother? Or is she saying like 20.3? Like it's weird to me. Like when you make a bucket, like it don't count as a full point. Like where's the point? Where's the decimals coming from? That doesn't make any sense.
And following this season, Bronny's prospect ranking dropped to later in the second round.
Oh wait, no. It's the average. So can't they just round that up? Wow, why they gotta put they can just round it up because you're not gonna make 30% of a point of a bucket. That doesn't make any sense.
After every season at Sierra Canyon, Bronny faced added pressure and expectations, but he handled it perfectly, showing maturity beyond his years. And despite the noise, he stayed focused on his games and continuing to grow as a player. And during his senior season, Bronny's performances would see his prospect rank go back up after becoming one of the main contributors on his team, where he averaged 14 points, 5.5 rebounds, 2.7 assists, almost 2 steals for the season on good efficiency. Although Sierra Canyon lost in the regional finals to Notre Dame High School, Bronny was invited to play in the McDonald's All-American game and was named in the U.S. team for the Nike Hoop Summit. Bronny's two-way ability, point guard skills, elite athleticism, basketball IQ, and decent shooting saw him always linger around the late first-round mark in mock drafts. After his high school campaign, the general consensus of Bronny James was that he was a 4 to 5 star prospect projected to go late in the first round, or early in the second. Although Bronny was a good talent, There's no secret that he had some limitations, notably his size as a combo guard at 6'4" being quite small. Also with him being quite unselfish, causing him to be less aggressive offensively, where he can be quite passive going at the rim, despite his gifted athleticism.
Yeah.
And although most sons of exceptional athlete fathers don't live up to expectations, for example,
You see, that's the same thing I said. Like the sons of these famous basketball players never live up to the same expectations as their fathers, bro. Like they can never be as good. They can never surpass their fathers. Like I don't know why. I don't know what it is. Like is it some curse or something? Like this destined to fail? I don't know, man.
Michael Jordan's son, Marcus Jordan, had an underwhelming college career before giving up.
Oh, I didn't even know MJ had a son. Like is that crazy for me to say? Marcus Jordan, I never even heard it, dude. I mean, that's how that, you know what I'm saying? He didn't even matter for real, because if I didn't hear it, bro, he's like Michael Jordan's son. It's like, you know? I mean, granted, this is like old as hell. Look at that old ass Balls Life logo, you know? Like, I didn't even know they had Balls Life back then, bro. When is this? Like early 2000s or something like that? Yeah, Marcus Jordan. Damn, man.
Up on his basketball future to open a sneaker store. Shaq's sons, although are high-tier basketball talent, with Shareef O'Neal currently in the G League Ignite program and Shakir playing college ball without being ranked as a prospect, the chances of Shaq's sons matching his father's excellence is extremely low. And although many hoped that Bronny would be the one to break this trend and become an outstanding talent of his draft class, it looks like he won't even be a one-and-done prospect. And this was largely due to his disappointing start to his college campaign at USC. But before that, in late August, Bronny would suffer a cardiac arrest episode during USC practice. Thankfully, his life would be saved on site at the training grounds. And although he returned to training a couple months later after missing just a few games of the season, when he appeared on the court, he looked far from a five-star prospect. Although he's been primarily playing a limited bench role, when he is on the court, he's been mediocre, especially on the offensive end. 2 months into the season so far, Bronny is shooting below his usual standards, going for 36% from the field, and under 28% from three, not to mention just 62% from the free throw line. So this potentially suggests the issue with Bronny currently being mental, seemingly uncomfortable on the court. But this is understandable, especially considering the life-threatening incident a few months back. That being said, there are still things that Bronny has done well, most notably his passing and perimeter defense, still averaging almost a steal per game in 20 minutes. To compare a 19-year-old Bronny and a 19-year-old LeBron would be pointless, where at 19, LeBron was already the best player on his NBA team, while Bronny is currently playing a bench role on a college squad.
Yeah, but it's bad looks. Yeah, like his father didn't even go to college. He just went straight to the NBA and to start dominating. And then man, I'm sorry for bro. Man. Yeah, like ever since he went to college, it's like you don't even see and hear about him no more. Like, nobody even talk about his games, how he doing, because he's not able to perform at the level that he once did, you know. It still doesn't even match up to any of the things that his father did.
To add to this, LeBron also has every physical advantage, with his confidence accentuating his overall basketball ability, while Bronny still clearly has some mental limitations that need some work. Also, despite recent starting opportunities for Bronny due to injury to teammates, he hasn't really risen to the occasion. USC now sit with a well below 500 record, with around 1 month of the regular season remaining. And after these recent revelations of underwhelming performances from Bronny, mock drafts by 24/7 Sports, ESPN, among others, scouts don't project him to be selected in the first or second rounds of the 2024 NBA draft. That being said, there's one thing that hasn't really been taken into account by the mock drafts. As Bronny is still the son of LeBron James, he plays by different rules, But whether you'd like to admit it or not, his freshman year of college hasn't earned him a draft selection in the upcoming draft. As of yet. But the incentive to draft Bronny largely lies in a potential move from LeBron to where Bronny lands. Is Bronny James actually? To judge Bronny's genuine basketball ability, we must treat him like any other prospect. And with under 6 points per game on 36% from the field, unless Bronny finishes off the season in a groundbreaking fashion, there's no doubt that Bronny would need another college campaign to prove his worth if he was any other prospect. At this point, Bronny isn't even a one-and-done level prospect. But if he were to have a second season with USC, experience at the collegiate level would likely see Bronny have a much improved sophomore season. As for the NBA level, although it's hard to see Bronny as a consistent starter in the near future, his unselfishness, good decision-making, and perimeter defense could see him as a role player coming off the bench. And if he can make some extreme adjustments once he gets drafted, he could have a much higher peak than we.
Yeah, and he definitely doesn't act like his father at all. Yeah, you can definitely see like their personalities are very different from each other. Like you said about the confidence, the difference in confidence and stuff, and the mental limitations that Brownie has. You know, that's also hindering his game.
We may expect. Despite recent mediocrity, Bronny is not a bad basketball prospect, where there's no doubt an unfortunate health episode hindered his freshman year in college, leading to a slow start. Regardless, chances are Bronny will be picked up as a fairly high pick in the 2024 draft, likely with the hopes that one of the greatest players of all time will join the team that drafts Bronny James. And that's it for.
Okay. Nah, that's a good little video. Let me know what y'all think of that, man. I know people saying that people are hating on them and stuff, but I'm gonna see y'all boys.